Bogle Foundation. He's a descendant of our national hero. Give a round of applause for Mr. Constantine Bogle over here, our keynote speaker. But first, let us welcome, in the defiant, freeborn spirit of those of our ancestors who challenged the system of slavery, who challenged the institution of slavery and refused to be enslaved. Some of who even came here from Africa to make war on the slave trade. So don't follow the stories that tell you, oh, they were Maroons are runaway slaves. Some of them were never slaves. And that's part of the history that we don't learn. Give Mama G a round of applause as she brings us greetings.
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 Give thanks and praise unto the Most High. Hail Emperor Haile Selassie. Hail great kings and queens of Africa. Numerous names can't begin to mention right now. All our ancestors who lay buried in this land here in Jamaica, we give thanks. Whose blood run on this land, whose tears drop on this land, whose sweat is a part of this land, we give thanks. Yes, the transatlantic slavery. Yeah, before I go further, I hail Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Hail the spirit of Garvey wherever he is right now. We know he's sitting among us, because he's not dead. He's alive. Marcus Garvey said, if death have any power, then he gonna be the real Marcus Garvey in death. As a medium that work with the ancestor, I hail him in a special way, because I feel his presence right here, right now, sitting among us. Yes, I hail Mama Nanny, whose spirit walk with I, embedded I, embody I from time to time. You know, great spirit, still carry on the fight, and I give thanks that she choose I as a vessel, as a temple to work through. And I avail my body unto her. I have no talk over this temple that is here. I give it to her for her work in this time. Yeah, in this time, yeah, as I stood here this evening, I hail Brother Constantine Bogle, you know, from Paul Bogle from St. Thomas. I grew up in St. Thomas, although I was born in Chilani. You know, my journey is a real journey. I grew up in the Matalan, on the Matalan estate, amongst Mr. Ainsley Enriquez. Yeah, I don't know what's the reason, but it's not, I don't know yet. I know it's further down the road. Yeah. So I give thanks to be here on behalf of our people in this era, as they say, the era of peace. Mr. Constantine Bogle, there's a big risk sitting there between the Maroon and Paul Bogle. And many times I hear it mentioned, and the Maroon that sit there for time, either they cannot deal with it, has no interest, but that has not been dealt with. We know that the Maroon, as far as this we are concerned in Jamaica, we have done a lot. The fight was hard in the beginning, but in the end there was so much trick that there's reconciliation that we have to make. We can't too big to say we are sorry to each other, because a lot of trickery has been done when we are working with the British. Even their move, you can see the British has not changed. Just as people start talk about reparation and the air, they come overnight with a gift, like an insult. People wondering what, it's an insult. That's how they work. That's how they work. It's deliberately done overnight, intentionally to insult us because we are talking about reparation. That is how they work. So there's a lot of trick that was done where our Maroon was concerned in those days, selling out their own people. It has happened because of the trick. The peace treaty was like a divide and rule document that is still among us, and we refuse to step over it and reach for our brother and shake his hand with this paper in front of us. But this is a new era. This is a new era. Yes. And it is the time for peace. And the British will only know we are serious When they see the Rasta embracing the Maroon and the Maroon embracing the Rastas and Paul Bogle Foundation and everything, and we are embracing because we know we are here in the same boat.
One Africa.
And we came here in the same boat, and we're still here in the same kind of boat. And until we come together and know that we are one and there is no boundary that can separate us, especially when the slave master is the one who put that boundary there. So this day we say, down with those boundaries. The boundary between Paul Bogle and Marcus Gar and the Maroon, I say, away with that. It is the same thing. I'm from Old Trelawney Town, which the next door town was very much accountable, responsible for our town being shipped out of Jamaica, transported some of them in 1796 into Nova Scotia, where they brought land in East Preston, done by the early Jamaica House of Assembly, and some of them went as far as Sierra Leone. Some of who you see died in the Ebola the other days, our immediate family. Because some remain in Sierra Leone and some is still in East Preston. So even in the Maroon itself community, the same thing that has done to Paul Bogle was done to our town. And they tried to throw our village history underneath the carpet, because our village was one of them villages that never accepted the treaty. The treaty was really signed here. The Leeward Treaty was signed in our town. We never accept it.
That's right.
With 2 white colonels sitting every minute, say they are in charge, and our colonel was totally out of use, only there. And they were the one who was trying cases in village, doing everything. And our people break the treaty right in the middle of them face.
That's right.
So they send a company who make an alliance with the British for us. Now, our village is a village that is just being unearthed. We're just trying to unearth our history. Because a lot of history is there. That's where the fight was done. You understand? Suppressed now by the other town that could allow politicians to be what they are today. But we give thanks our ancestors is still alive. Still alive and well, and the fight is going on. And they choose wisely their people in this time. They choose from ability. They choose from who they know you are to carry on the work in this time without favor, without nothing to lose. Because when you're pushing a man where don't have nothing, you know it go. Because he can do anything, can have nothing to lose. That's how it is right now. Now, U.N.I.A, Momma G, as I say, was installed by the government in Suriname. When I went there, I signed a memorandum of cooperation with the Surinamese Maroon to work with them, trading and everything. So that document is still just not even start working yet. We signed it last year. So while we take it to the government, which you have to take every paper to the government is the paramount king of the Maroon. All colonel fall underneath the government. So the government was moving, honoring me as a government. First time they ever did that with a female. As soon as I came back, some Maroon, 2 Maroon, a professor, Fuller from Moortown, that is Nanny Town, and one from, and another Maroon was just done a film like Roots, named Akonto, looking for his roots, decided that they want to give some respect to Nanny because they don't see any respect to her being who she was from those days. So they asked me to play the role. So I ended up playing a movie of the real life story of what is going on. Now my journey to U.N.I.A this evening is that further in this month I'll be going to the United Nations headquarters, where they will be world premiering that movie. They will also have a human rights section there that I will have a sit in. My journey is that here, I know a nation is as its women. We have no representative for years now. Since Marcus Garvey, we have not seen a leader. We have no representative. You know? And that is years of a house without no adult running it, no one in charge. We are just here. Anybody can do as them like with a Jamaican, whether here, there, or anywhere. We have no one to speak for us. With due respect, I wish I didn't have to say it this way, but if it's so, it's so. We have no representative. You understand me? And so, being who the Maroon is, from those days, if it wasn't for them, then no politics could exist. I am just doing what I'm doing, and I'm standing in my stead, and I'm asking no permission to do what I'm supposed to do around here as far as black people is concerned, because they are who I represent, and I'm not asking no question, because I see a set of people being unrepresented for years. So what you going to say to me? But you going to tell me, say, not do nothing for them? What you are do? Whoever you is. So, I guess I'm there, you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't a long talk. I'm kind of abrupt too. I mean, I use English word when I chat. So, I don't want to chat to nobody because they don't understand if I know English. You know? So, right now, I write the Minister of Culture for an audience. I end up in a committee meeting that is not going nowhere. Walking from it last week, Monday morning, after being in the long conference room, me alone. I met Mr. Golden, and I was telling him, and he said that I want a space for a woman museum to work out of in Jamaica, to show great Jamaican women, to show the works of Jamaican women, you know, as something that Nanny and the Maroon give back to Jamaica. To save what I see Jamaican women is nowadays is a shame and a disgrace. What I see women is nowadays, who is supposed to grow our children, who is supposed to make great kings, is a disgrace. Shame. I sometimes don't even want to go on the street. Embarrassed. Look bad. Nasty looking. Nothing about it. Look bad. It nasty bad. How you represent nastiness? How you rule over? This ya? Garbage business ya? Shame on you, man. Shame on you. Even decent mannerism. I don't know in university something. When I go into Suriname and I see what they call Portugal there, very proper. It was proper mannerism when we brought up with where we lose now. That is their protocol there. Very proper. Not even Prime Minister can say that the protocol where they have around there. And it's all basic traditional ways of growing up our children. We lose it. We lost it and we don't have no shame. I'm so embarrassed of these leaders. I wish I could respect them. What about them should I respect?
Nothing.
They're a shame and a disgrace. And I would never push myself out there, skin in my teeth, in the condition that Jamaica is right now. It's a disgrace. Yeah, man, terrible. And I'm speaking for many because I sit on the sidewalk and chat with people and counsel people from sidewalk at daytime. So when I chat for them people, when nobody thinks that they don't know nothing. They know when things don't stay good, people them down there. But the reason why I want to have this museum is that I identify very vast amount of mental disorder in Jamaica.
Hallelujah.
Coming out of the slavery. That's why we need reparation. And that's why I'm going to open. I'm not going to ask them for nothing. I'm going to start work and shame them.
Yes.
I work shame them, you know?
Yes, sister.
I don't chat. Shame them with work.
Yes.
Just do what them should do.
Righteousness.
But and shame.
Righteousness.
How long you did you have all kind of implement and technology and personnel and what you do?
Nothing.
I'm going to shame on you with my little barefoot way. Yeah, you see me? Fear trash and crocus bag me wear. Me I show no decency in a crocus bag. Me I show no son and nothing. Me I show no up and shame on around here with works. Me I don't chat. You saw no might hear me again. I need to open this museum. Because from there I'm going to address the post-traumatic slave syndromes them when we see around here.
Yeah.
Outbursts, irritable and outburst attitude, the short span attitude we have towards life. We don't want a career, we don't want a wife, we want to have 1 dozen, we don't want to settle down nowhere. We have nothing, nothing about it like we're not going nowhere. I have identified those amongst my people. And after that is less than human being attitude. I have identified some things. Like a couple years ago before the Tivoli thing, I was in IRFM studio with a program we were planning to do. And they had a speaker there from the Ministry of Health. who came in from them time then, a couple years ago.